One of the things we often talk about here on Racing Dreams is the wonderful history of the sport. Racing New South Wales is a great way of honouring the past, like last week with the running of the Callander Presnell Stakes. We caught up with Kenny for Racing Dreams. Take a look.
Cross the inside at Just Party. Prost, Just Party lunges. Just fell short, I'd say. Give it to Prost, a nose on the line to Just Party.
So, Kenny, a real honour having a race named after you?
It was terrific. You don't look for glory like that, but particularly for it to be called the Callander Presnell with me good mate Max Presnell. Good fella Max, and you know, we've known each other for over 60 years. It's a bloody long time.
Absolutely. And you tipped the winner. I was on a node, but you actually tipped the winner.
Well, I shouldn't take too much credit because I don't tip a lot of winners, but I did tip Prost, and I tipped it to a few in my family, and we all had a nice little win.
All right, well, let's wind the clock back. I spoke to your great mate Johnny Tapp a few weeks ago, and we looked in the rearview mirror at some of the wonderful races and horses of the past. What about Kingston Town? Because I know, Kenny, Kingston Town was a horse that stood out for so many people, and you're one of them. Yeah,
well, Kingston Town become what I call a people's horse. If you walk down the street and you said that someone said, oh, you go to the races, have you seen Kingston Town? It got that way with Winks later on, and probably back in the day when before we were born, horses like Farlow. But I can remember so many of Kingston Town's wins, but the one that really stands out to me is when he won the Sydney Cup as a 3-year-old, and he sprinted twice in the race. He went around them to share the lead, and then when Malcolm Johnston said, let's go boy, he went again. And he won very easily.
Kingston Town is going to win the Sydney Cup in a walk. He's 5 lengths in front coming to the line.
He was a great horse, and he suited Malcolm Johnston's style of riding. He was a big part of that success.
Oh, the miracle. He's
the miracle man.
He's sensational. So you mentioned Winks. Was there a particular race, the Mighty Mare, when we started this show, Racing Dreams, it was right in the middle of her dominance of the game.
33 in a row. It's incredible, isn't it?
Was there one?
Yeah, the last one. Because you knew it was going to be the last one, and you don't always get a happy ending. And I thought, you know, and I remember when they had Lonro Day at Randwick once, and he got beaten in his last race by Grand Army, you know, and two great horses, but it spoilt the party.
It's Grand Army in front. Lonro can't get near him, and Grand Army spoils the Lonro party.
With Winks, you said, oh, please let her win today. And the Mighty Mare was mighty.
What a racehorse. And now, what about the Golden Eagle? A number of years ago, we've said this a few times, you get to Epsom Day and the curtains had come down on Sydney, but now this spring goes on for a long time. Golden Eagle Day today, we've got the big dance on Tuesday. A race for 4-year-olds, won by a Japanese horse last year.
And a Japanese horse is favoured again this year, and it'll be very, very hard to beat looking at her form. She's a filly. Sydney racing is now alive in the springtime, and we've got to take a hat off to PVL, Peter V'landys. He was the driver, and instead of it finishing the first week of October, as you just said, Tim, we go into races like the Everest and the Golden Eagle, super races. Instead of people looking to Melbourne, there's something in Sydney, and I think that was what we had on Everest Day. Not only was it Caulfield Cup Day, it was Everest Day. And it's good for racing because everybody's talking racing, everybody's betting, and whether some people want to admit it or not, racing is driven by the gambling dollar. They pay the piper.
And but you also get the magic of Sweet Caroline. I was out there, and obviously you and I covered a lot of sport in various capacities, but great atmosphere when they're all just singing, and that gives racing a real injection as well.
A lady came over from New Zealand. They're starting their first slot race called the Kiwi in the new year. And they sent her over to try and pick up a few hints from Everest. And she walked up the tunnel just as they were starting Sweet Caroline. And I read a report that she wrote, and she said, I was just gobsmacked. We've got to try and do something like that where the whole crowd comes as one. It's beautiful, isn't it? They're not singing the national anthem or something that everyone loves, but you're not stiff. you're letting your hair down and letting it go. Sweet Caroline, perfect song.
Absolutely. And finally, Kenny, the love of this game, it's been in your veins for 60 odd years. What about the thoroughbred, the great equine athlete that they are?
I was asked the other day what got me interested in racing, and I thought back to when I was 6 or 7 years old. I said the money, people collecting the money, and it was probably right. But as it became a passion with me, you can't but help but love the horse. And the traditions of racing, I'm a bit of a traditionalist. Had to get around that. I'm a bit of a traditionalist in my own way, but I still think you've got to go forward. Progress is everything. I love the thoroughbred animal. I love the racing game. I love every aspect of it.